What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Super Saiyan Kefla. Let's get right into it. Now, starting off with the sexy packaging, as you guys can see, it's the same thing we've been getting, but this time we do have the greenish yellow color for the theme, which makes sense because that's pretty much what color her hair is. We've got SH Figuarts Super Saiyan Kefla right there, the Tamashii Nation's quality sticker. A lot of stuff at the bottom no one really cares about. Tamashii Nation's Bandai. An image of her folding her arms right here, which looks pretty cool, actually. We've got more images along the side here. Her clenching her fist, all that good stuff. All of these look really good, by the way. On this side, it just says Super Saiyan Kefla. More images on the bottom. Nothing much going on at the top. Then, of course, on the back, we've got some poses you can get the figure into, as well as all the legal stuff that I cannot read. So let's go ahead and bust this figure out because I'm pretty excited for this release, as I think most people are, even if they've been discreet about it. Now, straight out of the package, here we finally have the SH Figuarts Super Saiyan Kefla. And, oh my gosh, I remember the backlash Tamashii Nations got when they announced this figure. So many people in the comments, I can already hear it now. Why did you guys release this figure? There's so many other characters we could have gotten. But at the same time, everybody that was complaining knows that they bought this figure. So the cap needed to be stopped. Now, on to this figure itself. I gotta say, it looks really freaking good. There's not a whole lot to it, but it's not supposed to be because her design is pretty simple. Probably the most simple in terms of fusion characters that we've gotten out of the series. But, as always, she does have that cocky Saiyan smirk. As we all know, Saiyans fuse and then their testosterone level increases by like 10,000, so they get super cocky. And I mean, she doesn't have testosterone, but at the same time she does, because she was really talking a whole lot of trash when she fused. But I will say I do like Kefla a whole lot more than I like Kale and Khalifa, and this figure just really captures her from the series. I think it looks good. At first I thought she was a little bit bigger than she should have been. Like, I don't know, it just looks like a big figure. And I actually had to put it down and stand it next to Goku to realize it's not that the figure is big. Her head's big, but her hair is also the main thing. Like, her hair makes the figure look like it's bigger than it should be. And so when you get it in hand, it's going to feel almost like it's a 7-inch scale figure, but it's not. She looks good next to Goku, and of course I'll show some other figures later on in the review. But overall, they nailed this simple design. I know some people were worried about the knees and all that. I'll get to that once I get to the articulation. But overall, just in terms of looks, the way that they nailed the stomach and everything, I think that they did a great job with what they had to work with. A small design for a very complex character, and I think it turned out well. And just look at her face. That's it. That's Kefla right there, to the T. Now, moving on to her height, to the top of her head, Kefla is actually she's a little bit over 4.5 inches, so definitely small. Now, to the top of her Shanae hair, she stands about 5.5 inches. So her hair itself is actually about 1 inch tall, which, once again, that's exactly what makes this figure look like it's out of scale with other figures. Moving on to the articulation, she looks up about that much, which, I mean, it makes sense because the hair is touching the back of the neck. Just look how thick her hair is, guys. That is freaking crazy. But with the way that her eyes are painted on, it's going to look like she's looking up even more. So that's a good thing. She looks down about that much, and I just realized her eyes almost look like a bluish color and not actually green. Like, you can see a hint of green in there, but yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there. But she does get a little bit of tilt and turn. Actually, no, she gets more than that. She gets quite a bit. You just got to be careful. Something about the way this head is on here is kind of nerve-wracking. And I actually want to show you guys that so you can see it. Normally, I don't get this in detail, but here we are. So it's on a simple double ball peg. The peg looks like it's pretty big, so that's good. Hopefully that's something you don't have to worry about breaking. I don't know. This thick hair just kind of worries me, especially when I'm turning her head. But yeah, I showed you guys the engineering. Of course, you can turn it all the way around. Her arms go up and out about that much, so she can hit a T-pose. Let's see if I can get them a little bit further. You can get them up about that much, not too much. Now she does have a butterfly joint in here that it doesn't work the best, but you can still bring her tiny little arms in about that much. So not a whole lot, but good enough. She doesn't actually have a bicep swivel right there on the arm. It's actually built in at the shoulder, so that's where your rotation is going to come from. She has a single jointed elbow that only comes in about that much, so she can't like put her hands all the way behind her head, but if you wanted to, she could kind of do it like that. Not that you would want to. Anyway, her hands are on a ball peg, I'm sure. And that is very tiny, so be careful with that. You can wiggle them around just fine as usual, but once again, just be careful because all of this figure is really small. Now, I think that the torso there's like a double ball peg. That don't make sense. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, she can move around right here at the diaphragm. I think there's a double ball peg connecting from the upper torso to the mid torso right there. And then there's another double ball peg right down in there connecting the lower torso to the midsection of the body. But either way, she moves fine. They did a really good job with that and it works out. And you can twist and turn this however you want in order to make her move the way you want her to move. In terms of her legs, they look like they're on the drop down method, but I don't think that they are because I'm pulling and I'm not about to pull these off. So she kicks forward about that much. Not a whole lot, unfortunately. And then you got to watch for what I just did, kicking forward too much, because I just got a little scuff right there. I hope you guys can see that on camera. So be careful because apparently paint will chip off of this figure. Her legs only do the splits about that much. Unless I am dumb and I just can't get a drop down leg method, I don't think that you can. Anyway, she does have a thigh swivel. Now moving on to the knees that everyone was so afraid of. It don't look that bad. It don't look that bad. It doesn't look great, but it doesn't look that bad. We've moved past this little open piece right here with the 1.0 figures, and so I think that's what people don't like. But I mean, it's not that bad. Okay, it is that bad, but you wanted to see it. I had to show it to you. Anyway, once again, that's what you get at the knee. She can rotate her legs all the way in right here. That's pretty cool. I like that. But anyway, yeah, moving on to the foot. It goes down about that much, up about that much. She does get really good ankle rocker, and then she does get toe hinge as well. So articulation-wise, could be a little bit better in some areas, but once again, this is a smaller figure, so engineering is going to be much more difficult. Be expecting that when you pick this figure up. Now, moving on to accessories, they did not slack off with this one. I got to give it to Tamashii Nation. First off, she comes with her signature Saiyan smirk that every single Saiyan should probably come with because they're cocky people. She comes with 2 extra expressions, one teeth gritted face and one yelling, screaming, angry face. And it only makes sense because her opponent was Ultra Instinct Goku and he was giving her the beats. So those were necessary. Unless, of course, you only read the manga, then you know her opponent was my boy Gohan. But that's another story. She comes with 1 pointing finger, which that's cool that they threw that in there. She comes with 1 hand, which is the one that she puts around her fist for when she goes like that. For you people that needed that. She comes with a pair of blast hands, and then she comes with a pair of stylish, rushing, posing, whatever you want to use them for hands. Then she comes with an extra hand for holding a key blast, which is cool that they threw this in there. This is probably the same one that we got with Android 17 and 18. It's just painted red this time, and I'm still glad that they threw this in. I'm happy about that. I love extra accessories, and I hope that they continue to do this with these figures. We get a pair of crossed arms, which I don't know about putting these on. These peg holes look a little bit too small for me, so I think I'm just going to leave these in the package because I don't want nothing to break on this figure. And then lastly, she comes with her spinning donut wheels. I don't remember what this attack is called. Actually, I'm going to take that back before Dragon Ball fans have a heart attack. But yeah, she comes with her technique that she used on Goku when he was like, nah, fam, you're not going to catch me with that. And then he hit her with that Wow! Kamehameha that blew her straight out of the ring. Moving on to size comparisons, here she is standing next to an SH Figuarts event exclusive Ultra Instinct Goku with a demoniacal fit Super Saiyan God head sculpt on the body, the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Super Broly Vegeta with a demoniacal fit Evolution Blue head sculpt on the body, and an SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Super Hit, who is her teammate, and I feel like these all look really good together. Now, next up is where I run into my first dilemma, because here the size comparisons are between the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Super Androids and Kefla, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute now. I know the Androids are short characters, but man, geez, look at 17 compared to her. That, I don't know if that's right. I'm going to need some pictures, man. I got to find something. I don't think they got close to enough to each other where you could see it, but sheesh, man, 17 and 18 compared to Kefla, that's like, they look like they're about the same age. Anyway, we also have the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Super Resurrection F Frieza. Actually, this is the Tournament of Power Frieza because he's got the halo. But yeah, there you are. Next up here, we have her standing next to my boy Jiren, who was beating people up at the beginning of the tournament and taking a nap on them. We have her standing next to the SH Figuarts Full Power Namekian Piccolo, and then the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball, I don't even remember, Super Saiyan Blue Goku. He's one of them. And lastly, here we have her standing next to the 3 best Spider-Man figures in existence right now. We do have the Mafex Ben Reilly Spider-Man. We do have the Sentinel Into the Spider-Verse Peter B. Parker. And the Marvel Legends Retro Symbiote Spider-Man. All great figures. Go pick these up if you're a comic fan. Now, straight up, I'll be honest with you guys. All jokes aside, I really do like this figure. That being said, it does have some problems. My main issue with it is the fact that I was moving around the leg and that paint scuff happened. That's something I'm not cool with, especially considering the fact that this figure pretty much doesn't have the drop down leg method, meaning that anytime you move her leg upward to pose her, you're going to have to watch out for that paint chipping off, because that I don't really care for at all. That's just not cool. Of course, the other issue is going to be the knees. I really feel like with all the technology that Tamashii Nations has been implementing lately, this is a figure they could have easily used an updated design on, and we wouldn't have that ugly look whenever we pose the figure. Everything else on this figure, I think that they did correct, because as you guys can see, I have her posed right here with her arm out, and that bicep swivel is effective right there at the shoulder. So it doesn't look like her arm is upward when she's punching outward or anything like that. For those of you who do posing, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. If not, then it doesn't matter. But anyway, the head, I think they did completely accurate to the anime. And they did it well enough to where this figure isn't super top heavy. You can actually still pose her around and you don't have to worry about the figure tipping over, if I can talk. I think that's great, man. A lot of the choices they made with this figure are good. Some of them not so good, but overall, and another issue I want to tackle before I forget is the double ball peg. That's what I'm calling it. That's what we calling it. That's what it is. The way that they did the torso on this figure, I think, is just great. All of that midsection right there and upper body poses very well, and I think that they did that the best that they could. While this right here is a floating piece that you have to be careful of, you still don't have to worry about any limitations up here when it comes to posing. So just kudos to them on that. I really, really wish we would have got some updated knees, though. That probably would have almost made this figure, if they got rid of that issue right here at the midsection where the paint was scratching, that would have made this figure an easy 9 out of 10 maybe. So that being said, if I had to rate it, I'd give it a 7. I think it's a good figure, especially if you like the character. If you're planning on picking it up, I would go ahead and do so now, because this is a web exclusive. Once you miss out and it's gone up in price, you guys already know how it is with these Dragon Ball figures. But anyway, no point in rambling. I hope that you guys enjoyed this review. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye. On to the pictures.